Welcome into another episode of the Brave Central podcast here from 680 The Fan, 93.7 FM. Hey, a reminder, please subscribe, share, review. We want everybody to know about this podcast and what we provide you here at Dickey Broadcasting, the flagship of the Atlanta Braves. And for the first time, really all year, things feel normal from a roster standpoint and from a success standpoint. This team has been lights out since the first win on April 4th. I'm talking about over 600. That's a good baseball team. That's what I call a good baseball team. To a point where with Bryce Elder, you have to send down one of the pitchers who has helped take you through this month. Bryce Elder has been good, and he was forced to be sent down. And it's something that a lot of us expected because we've asked Snit over the last 4 or 5 days, hey, are you thinking about a 6-man rotation? And he says no because of the off days. That's how good Bryce Elder's been. These are all good problems. These are all rich man's problems. The Dodgers don't have this problem. The Dodgers have pitching problems. Everybody has pitching problems except the Braves. Except the Braves. You have to have those hurlers. And the Braves got him. The Braves got him, and Spencer Strider is the next one. We talked to Spencer Strider yesterday, and he wasn't concerned about the velocity. And yes, the velocity was down. We got to saw the simulated game. It was, I think, a more they did more things that I had not seen in simulated games before, including pitching to a scouting report. They had different players on the board, and Spencer had to not only pitch to actual players, but pitch to who they were representing. So for a simulated game, it was a little more elaborate than others that I've seen. But 95 is not Spencer Strider. But that's okay. We talked to Rick Kranitz when we talked to Spencer Strider. They weren't looking at velo. They were looking at curveball. They were looking at slider. They were looking at movement. And remember, he's developing a curveball. Or did last year anyway, before he got hurt. They were looking at how effective those are. And watching that game, that simulated game, saw a lot of knees buckle. I saw a lot of knees buckle. And if they're looking at that, if they're looking at off speed and not velocity, things are going just fine. And pushing off the mound, we saw a lot of that. The catcher would just kind of roll a ball out at times to see what Spencer could do. And from a hamstring perspective, everything looked fine. And we'll see him in Washington next week. And I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see what he's capable of. And it's nice to have him back. It's also nice to have Ronald back, obviously. Playing a game in Gwinnett yesterday, playing a game in the Complex League where he went yard Tuesday, whatever it was. I'm not worried about his bat. I don't think anybody's worried about his bat. He came into spring training, if you recall, dropping bombs in the cage. Dropping bombs. Nobody cares about his power. Nobody cares about his swing. It's fine. Is it going to be what it was when he went 40-70? Probably not. That shouldn't be the expectation this year, though. But from what we've all heard, and granted it's been 2 games, rounding bases, making cuts in the outfield, all of those things that are sort of the last steps in recovering from an ACL injury, they seem to be fine. They seem to be where everybody expects them to be. But don't expect them against the Red Sox. Snit has said multiple times when we've asked him, there might be situations where he takes a day off in the field, day on in the field, day off in the field, day on in the field. They need to see more of that. And he's taken a day off from the Complex League to travel up here, played in Gwinnett last night. We'll see over the weekend how often he gets out in the field, because that is the ultimate tell. We're talking about poker, right? Everybody's got their tell. When you're playing poker, if somebody scratches their eye and they keep winning, they have a good hand, you know what their tell is. When they're bluffing, if they check their watch, that's their tell. The tell for the Braves, everybody knows it. It is, does he play in the field multiple times? When is he the DH? If he's the outfielder more than he's the DH, then that means he's coming up very, very soon. We'll see what the Stripers do over the weekend, because again, if he starts playing in the outfield, then we'll expect him against the Nats. But if he's still sort of on again, off again, on again, off again, he ain't coming back until, a week or so. But it's going to be great to have him back. This lineup's going to change so much. It's going to be awesome. Now, one problem's like everybody's happy now, right? Ozzy's starting to hit. Austin starting to hit. All the defensive issues I'm kind of annoyed with. Except Matt Olson. Except Matt Olson. What do we do with Matt Olson? I don't think you move him down to the lineup because he's got the power. I've heard some folks say that. It's not going to happen. He needs a day off. He needs 2 days off. And I really hope the Braves aren't keeping him in because of that consecutive games played streak. It's awesome that he's been an Ironman. Great for Matt Olson. He's not going to break Cal Ripken's record. That's simply not going to happen. So knowing that, I really hope the Braves aren't keeping him in because of that. But he needs to sit down for a couple games and get away from everything. Kind of like what the Braves did with Raisel Iglesias, a week and a half ago, whenever that was. Take 2 days, chill, don't worry about baseball, hang out in the dugout, eat some sunflower seeds, have some double bubble, and just kind of get away from worrying about stepping up to the plate. Because Matt Olson is a very even-keeled guy. You don't see frustration. You don't see emotion from Matt Olson. You have the last 3-4 days. You've seen him just leave all of his stuff on the field after striking out. You've seen him slam his helmet down as much as Matt Olson does, which, he's not for sale throwing stuff out there. But he has showed frustration a lot. And in Boston, this is an average Boston team. Yes, Garrett Crochet is going tonight. They've got some pitching, but this is a very average, bounce around 500 Boston team. Give him time to chill. Give him time to chill. Now, then the question would be who plays first base. I joked around while Drake Baldwin was having his amazing series and said that, well, you know what? Taking a look at his perfect game profile, he did play first base. He's not going to play first base. I doubt they would do that. Putting somebody like Luke Williams or Eli White, fine. But I know a lot of folks, got to have Drake in the lineup. Got to have. Yes, that's true. But I don't think if they sit Matt Olson down, they're just going to magically say, oh, yeah, hey, Drake, go play first base, something you haven't done since summer travel ball your senior year. And I don't know if that's going to happen. And a lot of times, and I joked about this, a lot of times you play 3 tournaments a day, your catcher's not going to play 3 tournaments. You got to put him out there. And so Drake went out there and played first base in perfect game. But they need to sit Matt down. They also have to find a way to keep Drake in. That is 100% a necessity. Does that mean he plays catcher? Does that mean you try him somewhere? No, you don't do that. You can't just throw him out of the outfield. You can't just throw him out of that's not going to happen. But I think they will go to the 3-2-2-3 kind of format they had with Sean and with Travis d'Arnaud, dating back even like Kurt Suzuki, Tyler Flowers. The Braves have done this countless times. You're going to see that. And you're going to see him as the first man off the bench when he's not starting at catcher, and vice versa with Sean Murphy. Catchers can't, it's not as simple as, hey, just go out there and play. But man, what a series. He needs Rookie of the Year consideration. If he's not, it's because the rest of baseball hasn't caught on. Maybe the Boston series, because everybody seems to focus on Boston and New York. Maybe this is the time. Maybe this is the time where he goes oppo consistently and just peppers that green monster, and people will wake up and like, oh, wow, this rookie, he's kind of a badass. But we can't just kind of throw him out there. It's going to be the 2-3-3-2 style, which is fine. Even if you're playing catcher some of the time, you need breaks. Your knees will hurt. So it's been a good week. We'll see if it can continue this weekend in what is going to be a fun series. It's going to be a fun series up there. And of course, we'll have everything covered here on 680 The Fan, 93.7 and the Braves Radio Network. Ford leadoff show coming your way Friday at 5:55. So a little 5 minutes earlier than normal, 7:10 game time with Ben and Culberson up there. So we'll have all that covered. You can listen on the Fan app. Just download it. It's super easy. It pops up on Apple CarPlay, on Google. It's all right there in your dashboard. And of course, you can hear it on the app too. So subscribe, review, like, share. Brave Central. We do this twice a week, and we're here for you. We're here for you. We're here to cover baseball and Braves baseball specifically for the fan and for you, the fan, and through the flagship and the access we get. So thank you. And we will talk to you probably on Monday.